Blood and money, sacrifice, red ink, and bloodlines tied to financial flows. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Money Magic series. When we speak of money, we imagine neutral numbers, balances, digits glowing on screens. But beneath that surface lies a far older association, an association with blood. Across cultures and centuries, wealth has been tied to sacrifice, to lineage, to the literal spilling of blood as a means of securing order and flow. The phrase blood and money is not rhetorical. It is a reminder that financial systems did not emerge from accounting ledgers alone. They emerged from sacrificial rites, dynastic inheritance, wars financed by death, and the red-inked ledgers that recorded both profit and loss. To study blood and money is to uncover the deep ritual architecture where life and value have always been intertwined. Blood as the first currency. Long before coins and paper, blood itself was the medium of exchange between humanity and the divine. In Mesopotamia, animals were sacrificed to secure harvests, rains, and protection of cities. In Mesoamerica, entire cosmologies were built on the conviction that gods required blood offerings to keep the sun moving across the sky. The Aztecs believed human sacrifice was a debt payment to the gods, literal repayment for the divine gift of life. Blood was value, and its offering maintained cosmic balance. This is the earliest logic of currency, a flow of something precious that must circulate to keep the system alive. In ancient temples, the flow of blood paralleled the flow of grain and gold. Priests not only spilled blood, they collected tithes, redistributed offerings, and tallied accounts. Economics and sacrifice were never separate. They were two sides of the same ritual. Red ink and the ledger of life. The association survived into modern finance in subtler ways. Accountants still speak of red ink for loss, black ink for gain. This practice comes from double-entry bookkeeping in Renaissance Italy, where debts and deficits were marked in red. The metaphor is not accidental. Red signifies danger, deficit, bleeding. To be in the red is to be drained, to have life flowing out. To be in the black is to be solid, replenished, safe. Every financial report that splashes red across columns is unconsciously invoking the same symbolism. Blood flowing out is loss, blood retained is wealth. Debt itself is often described as a form of bloodletting. Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice crystallized the metaphor in Shylock's demand for a pound of flesh. Finance, law, and sacrifice merge into a single vision. Repayment not in gold, but in human substance. Even today, when corporations impose layoffs to stop the bleeding, the metaphor betrays the same ancient intuition that money drains like blood and organizations bleed when cut. Bloodlines and inherited wealth. Blood does not only symbolize sacrifice, it also marks continuity. Dynasties, monarchies, and financial families have long justified wealth through bloodline. To be born into a certain lineage is to inherit not only property, but legitimacy. The Medici family, who bankrolled Renaissance Florence, turned their bloodline into a dynasty that outlasted generations of merchants. The Rothschilds, through strategic marriages, extended their financial reach across Europe, binding capital to blood. The very idea of blue blood in aristocracy ties wealth to bodily substance. Nobility claimed their blood was different, purer, elevated. This myth justified their right to collect taxes, own land, and direct economies. In many cultures, succession to wealth and power was limited by bloodline, with outsiders excluded regardless of merit. Even modern corporate dynasties, Rockefeller, Ford, Walton, carry echoes of this principle. Wealth is transfused from one generation to the next, as though financial blood must circulate within the same veins. War finance. Wealth through death. Wars reveal the blood-money connection with brutal clarity. Every battlefield is financed. Weapons, supplies, soldiers' pay, all require credit, loans, and taxes. Governments issue war bonds, instruments that literally bind citizens' future labor to the bloodshed of the present. During World War II, posters in the United States equated buying bonds with spilling blood for freedom. Citizens were told, lend your money or lend your body. Either way, the nation feeds on sacrifice. The profits of war are just as telling. Armaments industries, banks, and contractors grow fat while soldiers bleed. Ancient empires plundered the slain, turning blood into bullion. Modern empires securitize death through bonds and futures. Behind every statistic of casualties lies a column of numbers in a ledger. Expenditures, compensations, insurance claims. The transformation of blood into money is systematized, hidden under bureaucratic language, but never erased. Ritual sacrifice in finance. Blood sacrifice has also appeared in subtler economic rites. Consider the sacrifice zones of industrial society, regions where communities are poisoned, exploited, and discarded to feed corporate profits. These zones are not accidents. They are ritual offerings of human health to sustain the flow of capital. Families in mining towns lose lifespans so cities elsewhere can flourish. This is sacrifice modernized, blood translated into pollution, disease, and shortened life expectancy, traded for dividends and growth. Insurance systems, too, bear sacrificial traces. Life insurance is a calculated bet on the timing of death. Actuarial tables convert lives into probabilities, pricing human mortality into premiums. While the practice provides security, it also reveals the cold equation. Lives and deaths become financial instruments. Blood, again, is money, transfused into the logic of risk. The color of sacrifice. Color symbolism reinforces this association. Red is universally tied to blood, passion, danger, sacrifice. In financial contexts, red signals loss, urgency, deficit. Yet red is also prosperity in many cultures. Chinese New Year envelopes of money are red, signaling vitality and abundance. This paradox is revealing. Blood is both loss and life, drain and fertility. To spill blood is to diminish, but to see red is also to affirm vigor. Currency design often employs red strategically, as warning in ledgers, as blessing in notes. The dual symbolism captures the ambivalence of money itself, life-giving when flowing, destructive when drained. Hidden rituals of blood and finance. Modern finance still echoes sacrificial architecture. Courtrooms and banks resemble temples, with ritual dress and precise language. In both, oaths bind participants, and failures are punished through loss of property, freedom, even life. Bankruptcy courts speak of bloodletting debts, bailouts demand sacrificial industries, collapses are blamed on bad actors, whose removal becomes a cleansing. The logic is ancient. The system survives through selective sacrifice. Even taxation carries sacrificial undertones. To render taxes is to give a portion of one's lifeblood, time converted into money, to the state. Ancient tithes were offerings to gods. Modern taxes are offerings to governments. Both draw from the same well, the belief that survival of the community requires surrender of a portion of life force. Blood and monetary myths. Stories and myths amplify this association. The biblical story of Cain and Abel is not only about jealousy, it is about offering. Abel's blood sacrifice was favored, Cain's grain offering rejected. Blood was wealth to the divine. In Greek myth, the rivers of the underworld include Cocytus, lament, and phlegethon, fire, echoes of blood as payment for passage. Even the Christian narrative centers on the blood of Christ as the ultimate payment of debt, redemption literally meaning to buy back. Religion and finance overlap here. Salvation is purchased in blood, account settled by sacrifice. Why it matters. To study blood and money is to uncover the visceral foundation of finance. Currency may now be digits, but its grammar remains sacrificial. We still mark losses in red, still treat death as collateral for loans, still structure wealth through bloodlines, still finance wars with bonds and bodies. The occult truth is that money's flow has always been tethered to life's flow. When systems demand sacrifice, whether soldiers, workers, or communities, they reenact the same ritual that once stained temple altars. Money is not sterile, it is saturated. Each bill, each coin, each digital transfer carries with it the echo of lives spent, blood spilled, lineages preserved, sacrifices rendered. To ignore this is to believe finance is only mathematics. To see it is to recognize finance as ritual, stained in red, structured by offerings, maintained by faith in the balance between life lost and wealth gained. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Manifestation series, where we don't just talk about manifesting, we master it. Because let's be honest, manifestation has been watered down, reduced to vague quotes, mood boards, and empty promises. But you didn't come here to wish. You came here to build a reality that hits different. A reality that responds to your frequency, your language, your alignment, and your decision to stop playing small. This series is not fluff. It's physics, frequency, and fierce creative power. Inside the Manifestation series, you're going to learn how to collapse timelines, shift identities, and speak worlds into existence, just like the greatest minds in history. This isn't just about being positive. This is about being powerful. Here's what you unlock inside. Vision to reality, the vision board course. You've heard about vision boards, but you've never done them like this. This is a full energetic ritual, a precision-coded map for your subconscious, designed to bridge image, frequency, and strategy. It's not arts and crafts. It's blueprinting your future in visual form and turning it into matter. Time, quantum timelines, and why time isn't real. Manifestation doesn't take time. It takes alignment. In this module, I'll show you how time is just a mirror of energy and how to collapse timelines using choice, clarity, and vibration. Past, present, future, they're happening now. And when you know how to navigate time quantum style, you stop waiting and start receiving. Quantum jumping, instantly up level. Your next level life isn't years away. It's one decision away. In this training, you'll learn how to quantum jump, how to shift into a version of you that already has what you desire. This isn't fantasy. It's how high-performance creators, athletes, and spiritual masters leap beyond limits. Jump now. Land in power. Every word. The power of affirmations and spoken language. Words build worlds. In this course, I show you how to use affirmations like spell work, not just repeating empty mantras, but speaking with vibration, intention, and spiritual force. If you've ever felt like affirmations don't work, this will change everything. You'll learn to command your field, not just request from it. The greats, learning from the most exceptional minds in history. We're not the first to master this. In this legendary module, we decode the techniques, habits, and quantum genius of the world's most powerful manifestors, from ancient sages to modern icons. You'll learn how to think like the greats, move like the greats, and manifest like the greats. This isn't another feel-good series. This is a spiritual weapon, disguised as a manifestation course. It's made for leaders, cycle breakers, visionaries, and soul builders. You don't need another wish list. You need a system that teaches you how to bend reality. This is that system. So if you're ready to stop playing with potential and start creating results, welcome to your next level. The manifestation series is open now. You know what to do. Let's build what they said was impossible and make it inevitable.